call this to order. Local Works, November 27th, 3 o'clock. Looks like we have a quorum. Any motion to adopt the agenda?
So moved.
I second.
Okay. How about the approval of last meeting's minutes, November 13th? Motion to approve.
No comments from me.
Did everyone get it and have a chance to look it over?
I got it. I wasn't here, so I was.
Okay. I'll move to approve again.
Second, and then
I have to abstain, I wasn't here either.
That's true. But I guess you have to second it. Okay.
Can we have a vote with
And anyone opposed to either of those?
2 people abstain?
from
And there's
what?
only 4 people, is like 2-0.
Well, but you could, if you looked at it, you can. That's an interesting question.
They looked very well written to me.
So I say you can vote.
Punctuation and the grammar was fun.
That's automated.
Kind of not sure.
I would think, given the fact that you had the opportunity to look it over and I was sent to you, I would think you should be able to vote on whether or not to approve it.
But if they abstain and only 2 people are voting,
Well, it's a majority of the people who are here who are available to vote.
I can see what the problem would be.
okay, great, it's approved.
So, moving on to, there's no guests, so we can move right into the survey.
Okay. So I've handed out some updated draft surveys, if people want to take a minute to look at them. Maybe they're just
Let's quickly
informal.
What we changed from last time, could you bring some of us up on that?
All right. Starting with question 8, there was some additional sections added, taken out from the arts section that had come previous after it. There was a couple questions that were moved prior to 8 towards the end. Nothing was removed. Things were only condensed or simplified into other sections. I tried to keep the rating system more consistent and changed the questions that didn't have a rating system to reflect a rating system where possible.
So there were some arts things that were brought into this format, into the rating format.
I see that.
Okay.
Bottom of question 8.
Yeah.
Yep, that is
We
good.
want to make sure that you're comfortable with that, Denise.
And I added actually arts and crafts from big box store retail chain
Okay.
because I thought that was a missing.
Oh, you're right. Places like AC Moore and Michael's? Oh, my lord, yeah.
I mean, whether or not you call it art,
Yeah,
but
that's...
it's people
Press.
purchase it and they're purchasing that, then they're not purchasing other framed art.
That's right.
I was going to suggest that we have the title of the survey be Local Works Easthampton Local Preference Survey. And then where you say Retail Preference Survey, to not call it retail, since it's about more than just retail, call it Local Preference Survey. Keep that consistent.
Yeah. Well, I think the retail preference questions just applies to those that are retail.
Retail Preference Survey questions?
Yeah, right above question 1.
But where are the other title areas?
Yeah, you know, we probably don't need a title there.
Above question 1, I think we can remove that.
Yeah.
Retail preference survey
Yeah,
questions,
right.
just start with, okay.
But I think it would be good to title it Local Works Easthampton Local Preference Surveys, because it kind of ties into the group and...
Yeah. All right.
Do we, Can we not have the word local twice?
I would say
How about just preference survey?
local preference survey.
Well,
Preference survey is very vague.
Well, it's word local, okay.
I mean,
I'm trying
it's
to avoid the awkwardness of having local works Easthampton, local preference survey.
I mean, it's a retail and service.
It's Easthampton, why not just Easthampton preference survey?
Local
That's true.
works Easthampton.
It says local works all over the
Just
place. I don't
local
think we
work
need local works.
Easthampton's preference survey.
Easthampton local preference survey.
Brought to you by Local Works or something.
Well, it'll say local works all over the place.
Local
Local-
Works, Easthampton's preference survey.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so then we don't, so we keep that and take out the second local.
local works Easthampton preference survey.
Yeah. Good, okay.
Okay. And with a dash between them. Local works Easthampton preference survey. That's what you said?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it looks good.
That looks great.
Everything's there.
Question, if you look at 13 and 15, the scale, I created a scale for this with 1 being very unimportant, 5 being very important, 3 being neutral. Does that read well to you? Does that make sense if you were filling that out?
Which question?
13 and 15, they use the same scale.
13, oh, 15, okay.
I think very unimportant factor is a little awkward. What just said not important at all? Or no importance?
Unimportant. What about including what numbers 2 and 4 represent as well? Because you can't really assume that people know.
Really?
So the scale from very unimportant, neutral, and very important, it's clear what 2 and 4 represent.
Well, it's clear, but you can't assume. I mean, you say it the other times.
Well,
Could be in
Well,
between.
the other times are specific things, though,
Right.
about twice a month,
Mhm.
about once a month. I tend to agree that I don't think we need those.
I mean, just consistency in number 7, it's the same way.
Number
1, 3, and 5 are...
Right. Well, I didn't notice that. I think you should say what the other ones mean, because otherwise,
easy.
no one's going to put 2. They just think that you want 1 or 3 or 5. If you're going to put 2 and 4, then why not just have 1, 2, and 3?
Well, because you call it a scale,
Right.
and I think people would understand.
You usually tell people on a scale from 1 to 10, you
Right.
don't tell them
What
say 1 is
each
low
number-
and 10 is high, you don't tell them what 2, 3, what
And what would you call 4?
Well, I mean, in the case of
kind of maybe.
It's sort of.
13, because 1 is not important, 2 could be somewhat important, 3 neutral,
Kind of maybe.
4 very important, 5 exceedingly important.
So you want to do that?
I don't know.
I
1,
disagree, I don't think.
I tend to agree with Denise.
but the word very unimportant is weird.
Very unimportant, I think, is a little awkward.
So
What if we just say
not important,
not important at all, or not important? Yeah, not important.
and then non-important,
Neutral, very important, yeah. And I'm not sure we need the word factor.
Mhm.
Okay,
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
and then the same thing for 15.
Yeah.
Not important. Okay. I added 17 entirely, based off 16 that was in the online section. I don't know if either of those are really necessary questions.
Which one did you have,
Is that an
17?
online question?
16 and 17?
Specific? Is that an online?
No, based off of, 16 was there.
I know, yeah.
And so then I saw that and I was like, well, if we're asking that question about online, should we ask that question about other, like
Gotcha.
bricks and mortar?
Yes, that's a good, I
So,
think it's a good addition.
okay. But then I wasn't sure if we should actually have both of those from either of them, or if we want to rearrange those questions so there's a little bit more.
I think they're good the way they are.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, it's good that you added it.
All right, and then I went through and added the holiday stroll, big rig day, summer fireworks.
How about community cleanup day that we doing, that the EDIC and the chamber does?
Maybe.
All right. What do we want to call that? Community cleanup day?
Yeah. Are you going somewhat in?
It's usually the first week of the year.
Yeah.
Is it the downtown cleanup or is it community cleanup?
Well, it's downtown cleanup day. Maybe we go more than down, sometimes we'll do.
I mean, the rail trail gets involved too.
Right.
There's community cleanup day in May.
Could I change the second one?
Yep.
It's not A and Art Walk, it's Art Walk, capitalized, both art and walk.
Art, walk. Is that original? Okay.
And just for the sake of argument, the holiday stroll is in November this year, but I don't think it really matters.
What is it?
The holiday stroll is on November 30th, just the way it works. It's always the Friday after.
Oh, and Thanksgiving was so early.
So is that day? It's always the holiday stroll every Friday after Thanksgiving? No.
It isn't, because it's 2 Fridays.
Second
Dude,
Friday.
just say the holiday stroll.
Well, everything else has
In late fall.
a date or
The seasonal holiday, you know what season it is.
what holiday?
How about November/December?
Why not add that? This is the Friday after Thanksgiving, because it would
It's
educate
not the
people.
Friday after.
Second
Oh,
Friday.
sorry.
It's the Friday, because the Friday after Thanksgiving was last Friday.
It's the,
Oh, so 8
It's the
days
second
after
Friday
Thanksgiving.
after Thanksgiving.
Pardon?
8 days after Thanksgiving.
I suppose, yeah.
There you
That
go.
makes it
It's always the second Friday, though.
Oh, it's the second Friday after Thanksgiving. Second post-Thanksgiving Friday.
But that's a lot of words.
the last Friday in
It's not-
November. Oh,
No, not
right, right.
necessarily, because this is the only year it happens.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
For another,
It's the holiday
whatever.
stroll. I mean, we could just say it's every December, every.
November/December.
Makes it sound like it might happen twice.
Okay, holiday season.
The holiday stroll,
It's
second Friday.
After Thanksgiving.
Right.
So,
I don't think you need a question mark if that matters.
After each of, okay, yeah.
yeah. Can we take a stand on this now?
It's ready to go to Jessica, at least.
All right.
She approves.
Is the rest of the committee, let's see, this is,
I just finished it right before the meeting, so
10 minutes ago.
no, they have not.
Well, I just don't know.
Well, we have a quorum here. And I think we can.
But no one else said they weren't going to make it, huh? It was weird.
No, both.
Yeah,
I thought-
Kathy and Sue, I'm surprised, aren't here. But
Kathy
Mary
said she
Ann...
would be here. Marion said
She's
she's
running late.
and Sue said she couldn't make it early,
Oh, okay.
but I assumed by that she would make it on time.
I think in the interest of time, and the changes that have been made, I don't think are game changers. I can't imagine them being game changers for anyone.
Okay, I'm just,
Could we say that everybody approved of this and send it to them via email with that message and then give them 2 days to look it over? And
Are we allowed to do that outside of the meeting?
I mean, all we're doing from this point, we're not saying this is the final survey. We're just saying
Just a
that,
draft.
but this is a draft that the committee can get behind and send to the planning department for another
Okay.
level of review. And then it's gonna come back with changes, and then it's gonna have to go back before the whole committee again, so.
Okay.
And people aren't really being, I don't think people are being cut out of the process.
okay, I just,
So I don't really need to make a motion then. Sorry.
No, I mean, if we're all
okay.
verbally in agreement, I mean, that's. I mean, we're still gonna leave it on the agenda, right, going forward. It's not done.
Yeah.
yes.
Well, let's leave it on, let's
But we
put it
can
back
put-
on the agenda after we get results from Jessica.
Sure, or we could just put under old business and we don't have to get to
Right.
it every time.
Yeah. And what's Jessica's last name again?
Allen, A-L-L-A-N.
Okay. So, let's carry on.
You can get that submitted to her.
So at this point, the online,
This is not really a closed-door session.
Well,
I know, I'm teasing.
when the vacuum turns off, we can
Yes.
the doors again.
well, I'm just concerned if they come by and don't see the door open. Thank you.
Okay.
Should we talk about the website?
Well, what about the rest of the stuff? Well, at this point, we're not, there's the rest of the set. Discuss online version of survey, discuss areas outside of the use. We're not going to.
Well, that will be part of the website discussion, I think.
Yeah.
How is this getting distributed?
Actually, we can talk about that now, a little bit, before we really go into the detail, yeah. Well, we're thinking of a number of ways. Having it be distributed through SurveyMonkey online. And then a hard copy version we're thinking of possibly inserting with the summit.
Yep. We have to do some research and see what that would cost, but we do have a budget. And I think it's an appropriate use of our budget.
Yes.
It may go to Westhampton and Southampton, because I don't know if they, on the summit end of the deal.
Well,
Find out.
we'll get a price for the summit.
And that would be okay, since we're asking people, we're not just exclusively asking Easthampton people.
I thought we were.
Well, since they know, then what city do you live in?
Yeah. We'll be able to separate the results by city, by,
Okay.
This is a stupid question.
there's no stupid questions.
This isn't too heavy for one stamp, believe me.
Is it 3 feet?
I don't think we're gonna mail it.
Well, no. But you're asking for them to mail to address below. To mail it back, you're asking.
Well,
Newsprint's lighter.
It's
Some of those newsprint, that's lighter.
Consolidated somehow.
They
Maybe
may
it's
ask
smaller.
to print it too, from their service, I don't know.
yeah, I mean,
Yeah, I just,
Yeah.
we can, I think that it should be okay.
okay.
7 pages, it should be,
Send those, usually it's 5 pages. Do you want to have, since we're talking distribution pickup, do you want to also have, or drop at the city clerk's office or something like that?
Good idea.
please mail or bring to the address below.
I think we should have these available where people can pick them up at some common place. Like,
If we're doing the summit, correct me if I'm wrong, goes to every house in Easthampton regardless of subscription to the Gazette?
Right, it'll go in the Gazette, and then, yeah, to answer your question, yes, because if it doesn't go in the Gazette, they don't get a Gazette, it gets supposedly mailed.
Gets mailed.
So if it's getting mailed to every house and apartment and condo in the city, then why would we need to have another physical?
Not everybody reads that stuff. There's just one person in the household who gets it and mostly throws it away, the inserts. I imagine it may be expensive to print up this many page item and put it in the summit.
Like 18,000, 17,000.
Well, maybe we put an ad in the summit that says, you know, please go to our website
That's a good idea.
to fill out this really important survey
Or pick it up at these locations.
Right.
or pick it up.
Yeah.
You know, if there's an art walk, maybe they could have a stack up there, draw
Good.
attention to it, or at certain events, chamber.
City Hall, Town Clerk. City Clerk.
Sounds good. That
Okay.
works.
Okay.
So, should we get prices from the summit, or how does that work with them? You've worked with them before.
Yeah, it's, we talked with Ann Zanoni, she's the ad rep in town.
Okay.
Can that be a to-do of yours? Please? I could say Eric offered.
Okay, so we want the cost to insert,
There. I mean, it's either it's either the full survey, or a smaller survey, or an ad.
I would not suggest the middles. I think either the full survey or an ad. And if it's not too expensive, nice to be having the ad.
Yeah.
Because there are a lot of people who don't use computers, and this would be available for them.
I think we could generate a fair amount of organic people getting to the website by putting it on our own Facebooks and getting it into the
Yeah,
internet world a bit.
yeah.
ECA will post it.
Yeah. So we have to work on our outreach, and then we have to figure out how long we want it out for. But I think maybe that's a little bit ahead of where we are.
Good, okay.
so full survey ad, and I will ask,
I mean, I think,
if we print it or they print it,
I would assume they print it.
I would assume too.
I would assume so,
But you'd
yeah.
have to probably get a
I
picture.
mean,
I mean, we don't, I mean, there's...
because there are things that people, there are things that people get inserted in, like, you know, you get those bright canary yellow things with all the business cards on them.
Yeah, I think that's something that Gazette probably produces.
Okay. But that would be expensive we're talking about 4 pieces of paper, 7 sides. Yeah, so I think if they printed it, here's the thing, if they printed the summit, it's book style, not the regular 4 folded. So would it be 2 pages, do you think? I think if we had it all on 1 page, it'd be too small.
If we formatted this into a 2-column format, we would probably lose a page or 2, just because a lot of the...
And also the print would be teeny.
I mean, this is size 11 font. What do they use in the newspaper?
9 or 10, I think, probably.
Maybe
Anyway, if you could find that out, or find out what the cost per page is, and maybe show this to her, if you talk to her. Do you have a PDF you could send? You could send her the PDF and...
I can make a PDF of it, yeah.
Okay. Send her the PDF and ask her
Yeah, thank you.
what the feasibility of them printing it on 2 pages of the summit.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, so I'll send you a PDF.
You're not talking about actually printing on the paper, you're talking as an insert.
Well, no, I think having them actually printed on the paper. Because I've never seen physical inserts in the summit. I've seen inserts.
Oh, yeah, and Big East puts them in all the time.
But is that in the summit or in the paper as a whole?
Summit.
In the summit.
In the summit? Okay. You know better than I don't know. So tell us what would work best. See, I was thinking, you know, if we are worried about this being too heavy to mail back with 1 stamp, I don't think it is
No,
too heavy.
I don't think
The more I think about it, it's like, I think it's 5 20-pound pages, you know?
Okay, and you know what? This is 4 pieces of paper, so it could be printed on 11 by 17 and folded in half, just 2 sheets folded in half. And that takes away the need for the staple.
Yeah, that's interesting too, because I don't know if they have something that inserts things or what, so they may not want to insert stuff in staple. I'll have to find all that out.
If it's not stapled, it will fall apart.
I mean, my preference.
Not if it's the 2 pages of the 11 by 17.
My
like a
preference would be to
newsprint
give them a
size.
file and let them
Well, this
figure out
size.
how to.
Yeah.
But just,
Yeah, let's let the experts figure this out.
yeah, let's let them figure it out.
Because they probably don't go around collecting Big E's ads and then inserting them.
A lot of times you bring it to the paper. I know if we do a mail drop for insurance, we get stuff printed up and take it somewhere.
Okay.
Well,
Well, find out what she says.
maybe there's different prices. They're doing the printing versus.
Probably.
Okay.
Okay?
So what actually? So Derek's going to contact.
I'll contact
The
Andy.
Gazette rep.
Okay. Okay. There's also the postal service does a thing for businesses like door to door and like 19 cents or something.
Or residential customers in the mail.
Yeah. If they go to entire neighborhoods or large enough areas.
Yeah, I think that's a bigger commitment than we would want or need necessarily.
You may have to buy some kind of bulk permit
Yeah.
too, an annual fee type of thing. I don't know.
I was at the post office and they have little postcards about it. It was, looked like you just, if it goes to every door, they'll do it for cheap.
Do you want to look into that, get prices on that?
Sure.
Okay. Been offered. To current resident is what they always say.
Right.
Okay. Do we want to talk about SurveyMonkey then? Sure. Right now? We were talking earlier, and there you can do SurveyMonkey for free, or you can pay for it to get a little bit more benefit.
As far as what we've done so far is kind of ties into the website. So we could talk a little bit about that. We've got this new website up, which is pretty much just a shell. There's not a lot of content on it, but it gives us the basic functionality and a starting point to take it to somewhere where it's usable for people. I thought that what might be nice to do initially with the website is to really focus on the survey, since that's our kind of major task on hand. So this way, it would be the primary focus, at least of the front page. So if you go to localworkseasthampton.org, you get this area here, which we could, figure out what we want to say there, and then take the local work survey. Clicking on this would bring you to this, which is just the text from the survey, the intro, and then embedded in there, this is where the SurveyMonkey survey would appear. And there's no questions. All I did was open a SurveyMonkey account in Local Works Easthampton, just the free version, which is very limited. You can only collect 100 responses and have, I think, 10 or 15 questions. With the paid version, unlimited questions, unlimited responses.
$17 per month.
Right, and you have to pay annually, $204. But that, I think, could be a really good way to do it. If we were to create our own survey using some free tools, it would take forever for us to do it, unless there was somebody who really wanted to do that. But the nice thing with SurveyMonkey is you can export to spreadsheets, a lot of different ways to visualize the data. When you're in the SurveyMonkey account, I mean, again, all I did was create this initial survey. think somebody or a couple people could maybe volunteer to take over this Survey Monkey and put this survey into here. And it's just to get it started, to see what we have. And I've never worked with this. I don't know exactly how complicated it is, but it's, I'm sure it's very, very featured. You can see here all the different types of ranking scale. I'm sure we could recreate this almost exactly.
They may have, but yeah, they may have presets
Right.
as to our scales, which we can change in a tag.
Right.
Have we looked into other, Survey Monkey is the first one that comes up, but like there are things like Idealware and Zoomerang.
Well, maybe we should check that out. I looked at some free survey tools that are kind of scripts that we could use in here, but they were not very easy to work with. And I think that this is kind of solution that's solid.
Okay.
What is that?
Josh, do you want to look into those other ones, or you get them pulled up right now? or-
I had some, there's one for online survey tools. I can do a little research of them.
Yeah.
And,
See what, comparably, maybe there's something better. I don't know.
yeah.
So this is $17 a month, and you only have the option to get it for a year?
Well, you have to pay for a whole year. I don't know what happens if you cancel after half a year, if they give you back your money or not. But if we had this, we could do other types of surveys too. That might be a feature of the website. We could have other simpler surveys just as part of an interactive feature.
All right.
And that's the same for any survey.
Yeah.
We could do.
Any savings? Any savings? Or does it work out? I saw you multiply.
No, it's $200.
I mean, I think that's something that we can, again, invest in.
It might be a tool that we could give local businesses to use for the year as well.
That's
Create your
possible.
own.
We'd have to
That's
see
a
what,
good idea. Yeah.
to what degree can we share that account
Yeah.
with.
Well, we would keep it still.
Right, but if some local business said we want to run a survey using the Survey Monkey,
Well, they would send a link to their customers and
right,
we'd do the survey for them.
we could do it for
Yeah.
them.
Yeah.
That might be good. Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
So what I tried to do was just give us a basic framework for the website. If partners, organizations, businesses, and individuals eventually want to have their own page on here, I think that would be great for people to have some free advertising. They can have a page that they put their own information on. We could open it up to people to write articles, and that's nice. We have a area over here where different articles would show up. So if somebody wants to announce something, that could show up on the page. Twitter feed, you can see I retweeted. There's a couple things just to get us something in there to look at.
What's missing on the
It
third
looks
column?
like that's supposed to be the
Is that
That's
Facebook?
the Facebook. I don't know why that didn't load.
It's blocked by,
Oh, Facebook is blocked.
Facebook's blocked
blocked
inside
by-
the building.
Oh, okay, so that's why. So over there is a little Facebook where you see the Facebook people who subscribe. It's just a little picture. As far as, there's nothing on here other than if you click on to say organization, it just says send an email. We could have a registration form here where they could sign up. But I was thinking, the Chamber, ECA, their partners could have a page here or a link. Hopefully somebody at the Chamber would want to update, or they could have their own Twitter feed show up here. Current events, announcements. I think the idea that with the internet, that the more your information is out there on different websites, it actually strengthens your brand overall. Just the fact that you have links to your main page from another page is going to give you a better page rank. So I think businesses would like that. Even if people aren't looking at the site, the fact that they have some content out there that links back to maybe their own page. Or if they don't have a web page, then they can have a page. It might be nice for people.
So the administrator's going to be doing a lot of work on this.
Well, they would have their own administration. If with this content management system, we can set up in the back end of it. This is the control area. The users would have a more limited dashboard, so they can't modify the actual page, but their activity would be restricted to their page. So,
But we'd be giving them carte blanche
to put
what they want to put in. That's the point I'm making.
right. Well, I think
Not that anybody.
In terms of editorial
I think you'd have to have some
Yeah.
criteria. Say if you put up something obscene, then you're gone.
Yeah.
You know, if it's
Would we have the flexibility to
we could
have them submit it and not go live until we look
yes,
at
you
it?
can have it reviewed, or it needs to be approved before being published.
Okay.
If someone's gonna take the time to promote their business,
Well, one would assume.
Yeah.
Right.
So in other words, no, they wouldn't get carte blanche.
and,
But they-
and nothing's anonymous.
They could put what they could request what they want up there, and if there was something that was deemed inappropriate, we would say no before it went live.
I think it's also a good way to do it. Good way to do it that way, because what's to stop somebody from Holyoke or Springfield, Illinois, from putting their page on this?
Right.
Right. Well, we would have to approve them and get
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd have to be.
They're not going to be able to take over the page.
No. But
Right.
somebody
Yeah, but they-
on
they've
our
gotta
end of it
be
just saying, yes, you're
An Easthampton business
right.
or organization. And getting back to discussions from way back when, that also means that Domino's, Burger King, McDonald's can certainly be there.
They would. Yep.
Well,
Subway, yeah.
I take issue
Yeah.
with that.
Well, but
Well-
they're local businesses, and they're owned, but they're locally owned. They're franchises, but
Just put it on the record. I take issue with it.
that's fine. That's fine. I mean,
And I've had
in a
that
way I
discussion
would-
before.
I don't mean to bring it up again. I just,
in a way I do too, but we kind of agreed early on that we had to take that stance, that they were respected business owners. They're part of our community, and even though they're part of a national, they're part of a national chain, they as business owners are local people that are hiring local employees and are paying local taxes. So,
yeah.
carry
As
on.
far as what the different menus are or anything like that, I mean, I just wanted to get something up there, not to, if somebody else has other ideas or wants to.
Just as a matter, if you compare this to the first Local Works website,
Right.
where Local Works stuff is, does it have more or less the same framework of content?
So more or less, I mean, I use my own judgment to try to improve on
Right.
some of the things that I thought were ineffective with that page, which was that the menus, you really didn't know what to expect. There was too many different categories, too many different pages. Be aware, be this, be that. What does that even mean? Let's make this usable.
That was the information that was,
Somewhere in there,
the information that was contained.
It was hard to tell because there wasn't any content there, or just kind of a coming
So
soon.
where there was content, that information was carried through to this one.
In a sense, yes.
I just don't want to see
Yeah,
anything that was
right.
important on that website
No.
dropped as we go forward.
No,
Everything that was important is on here.
Okay.
Right.
And it really, at the time,
events,
It is a show.
news, we don't know what, I don't know what was intended to go in some of these categories. We could certainly add new
So can we
menus.
just go through them? And what's
Right.
home, obviously.
Be aware,
So we have events, and we have an events page.
right.
But I don't think there was anything on them.
Right, but we have a new, on the new
Right.
website, we have an events
Right.
page, and we have a news feed.
Right.
And what's the next one? Education?
Education and links.
So Links is now our partners.
Well, not necessarily. I mean, they register, donate, volunteer. See, that's the problem is over here, member businesses would be more like partners, business partners, partner organization sponsors. I just felt that this was kind of,
Yeah.
it wasn't really clear what was supposed to go here, so I tried to simplify it. We can always add more.
Yeah, so if you see things, so
Well,
explore the
I mean,
website.
right now, we have
If
partners.
you see things that aren't on the new site that you would like to see,
Is this actually live right now, or are we
Yeah,
seeing a
this
cast
is
version?
live.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
they're all live. Yeah, they're both live.
You know, I think one of the things we should do on this About page is to say a bit more about the organization. This is City of Easthampton Subcommittee, et cetera, et cetera. Maybe even put the meeting minutes could be somewhere on the website if people
That's a
want to
good
see that. You know, I put this
Well, if you-
calendar plug-in if we wanted to get into.
I can start doing that, yeah.
Oh, nice. Is
Calendar.
Nice big
is that a Google?
It's some sort of plug-in. It was supposed to show you the meeting there on, I don't know why it's not showing that, but, you know, we could do something like that for news. I think the idea of a specific page to join should be there. So Josh and I kind of put this together.
Yeah.
There could be a form or just, there's a request there to please email us if you're interested. So on a sub-page, you'll see whatever we want on here, but the way I have it set up now is this would be where people, if a business maybe wrote an article that could show up in the news feed, and then the Twitter feed. But all this is modular, so whatever, you know, people want to do. It's certainly very minimal as far as the look. We could try to spice it up if there was some interest by graphics people to kind of make it a little nicer looking, but I think we have the framework for what we can make something pretty functional.
It looks good. Nice start. Yeah. Easy to read.
Didn't we have on the Biz site what Local Works is?
Mission.
I took
Not
this
mission,
off of
not
there.
mission, but
Let's
what it
see.
is. Subcommittee of EDIC and all that. We didn't?
I don't see where that. I don't know.
Okay.
Maybe under previous version.
It says in collaboration with the Easthampton.
I think there was other logos up there that were taken down. The chamber might have been up there at one point.
Right.
Is that correct? There was some discussion about getting the chamber's logo off.
Yeah, but it was taken off of localworks.biz.
Right. Because
I'm hoping that we can get it back up on
Right.
the new
Right. I think, to be honest with you, I think they're gonna wanna see a little more than what they see here, to be honest.
Well, this is
Okay.
why they wanted it off to begin with, because it wasn't.
Well, that's
We
why
couldn't tell
we're,
what was what.
this.
Yeah, it was kind of,
Well,
that's why we're doing this
we need to
now.
get content. I think the main thing is we need content. There's no, I mean, it's not too different from the old site in the sense that there's not much content. In order to get content, we need people, partners, to want to participate.
Yeah.
So that's more of the challenge is, I think for businesses would probably want to have a free page that they could control.
But it also means that each one of us should contribute things. I contributed only one. I should contribute more, but I did a new one about the new logo a week ago.
I wish Mary Ann was here because it would be a good segue as far as, how much work are business people actually going to want to do. I mean, they probably already maintain their own website. So a link is one thing, but a whole separate page that they have to maintain is another.
But they wouldn't. I mean,
They could just put a link to their page if
They
they.
may appreciate
So
it.
can you go back to the partners?
And they could paste, a paragraph that they have.
I know
on
they
their
could,
page.
but are they going to?
So under organization partners, we
Right.
would see, hopefully eventually we'll see the chamber.
Mhm.
We'll have Easthampton, City of Easthampton and ECA Plus.
How about ECAT?
ECAD if they decide to partner with us. And we can have logos and links. And then the businesses, what's it take to be a partner? It's just a local business? Do we want any, is there a fee? I know we've talked about this before, there's no fee for being a member of Local Works. And I don't want to bring it up again if it's going to be a big discussion that, you know how the chamber feels. But if you're actually getting something tangible like website, promotional, and
Right. I mean, there are ways we could monetize it. I don't know if that's
or are we better off
the
just
goal or not.
just like being a
We need to
free
revisit
until
that.
No, I don't think so either.
okay.
I think
The one thought I had was to give, if the chamber is a partner, it might be nice to give some special perks to chamber members. For example, we could offer a free banner ad for any chamber business that could appear on Local Works. Every time you load the page, a different company's logo comes up that you could click on to get. So I add a little value to a chamber business.
And consequently for ECA Plus members who have websites, they could put in banners in there too.
Right.
But I would like to, you know, do all we can to get more involvement on both groups. Parts.
Yeah, that's going to be a interesting, like how do we get them involved? I mean,
Right.
Quintessence and the last Saturday, the local businesses all got together without us.
What do you
And
mean?
they did there was a whole huge event in Easthampton on Saturday with
yeah.
local
I'm
businesses.
buying local.
Yeah,
They did that without us.
without
So how do
Local
we-
Works. Yeah.
Right.
Because
So-
nobody knows what Local Works, or we haven't really done anything yet.
No.
Well,
That's what I'm getting at.
the buy,
That's what I'm getting at.
but the buy local Saturday thing is a national
Yeah, that
push
was,
Right.
that's happening. I mean, that's happening in every community.
But we didn't do anything about it.
Right.
The local businesses did.
Right.
Without us.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Well, but see,
Making that
one of the
segue.
draws could be that a lot of these businesses probably spent some money on mobilizing themselves like that. And it would be nice if they didn't have to, if they could do it through us. I mean, that's kind of what I envisioned this group was started at, is a service of the
Absolutely.
city of Easthampton, how we can help our local businesses.
Right.
So, you know, we can say, look, you can do this on our site for free.
But how does this benefit a resident who's not a business owner?
Because it improves the community. It doesn't directly benefit them, but, you know, as we have
Well,
said, keeping more tax dollars and more revenue in Easthampton improves our community.
Sure, but I'm just specific to this webpage.
Well, not directly, no.
I mean, if we don't have, if it's only business people are using it, it doesn't meet our.
Oh, no, I'm not, I think residences should be looking at it too.
So
But,
what are they getting at?
how are
Like,
we going to drive them to it?
If an individual wants to have a page, they could. I didn't know, since I was kind of new to the group, I don't know what a lot of the things that were talked about before me, but I took the liberty to put individual as a partner. And I didn't know what that would, look like, but maybe an individual could have their own page here where they could write a blog,
We haven't talked about that.
or I'm a local Easthampton person and here, something I read. I don't know.
Well, you're just saying,
what drives
What is this-
people
what's
to
gonna-
come to this site?
exactly, yeah.
Right.
Well, we need to work on that. I don't think we have all the answers right now.
The participating
I mean,
business members have specials that are geared only towards people that visit this site.
so
That's
Biggie's,
a good
let's say,
idea.
has a little thing, and they put up a coupon that may be
Yeah.
good for something, so people come to this, but, okay.
They couldn't get it in the summit. They can't get that coupon or that deal elsewhere. They can only get it on that website.
I finally figured out, yeah.
So okay.
Yes. My husband's like, no, they're on the door. I said, okay. All right, so you're all set? Yes, thank you. You're very welcome.
a great start.
All right.
So my two goals, other than getting the chamber excited about it, was to get all of us excited about the site and excited and active. Matt can give each of you an ID, and we can show you how to go in and provide input. But I think, we got to walk the walk and talk the talk. I think we all have to, we need to make it a vibrant page. And it's got to be done by all of us, I think. So, and you could put things in from the city's perspective, you could put things in from the chambers, you could put the ECA Plus perspective, and each one of us could put things in just from our own personal perspective, as citizens of Easthampton.
Can we make a goal of everyone trying to post one thing before the next meeting?
Yep. That's a good idea.
Sure.
And to where? Post that.
This is where we get into the...
Right, to the local works.
Yeah. Well, do we have... Could you show people how to do that?
But I'm physically saying where on the site.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, where on the site, how you would do it, how you would input it.
You would have access to the to log in as
Don't even read this closer.
Just, that, doesn't matter for me. It's still computers in front of it, they're blocking.
Is that better?
Yeah.
So you would log in, and let's say you want to write an article, not necessarily working on a page for your business, but just want to write a little post that would show up in the news feed over here or on
So let's do a sample one. We can delete it
on the
later.
main page.
Or,
So let me just close a couple of these windows here. So this is we're at the dashboard. You want to.
Is that what I see when I sign on under my new username?
You'll see. Yes.
Do you want to use mine, my ID?
No, it's the same. You'll see the same thing. So you want to create a new post, add new. Now, what are we posting about right now?
We're posting about Cottage Street Open Studios this weekend.
It's Cottage Street or Cottage Street Studios.
Cottage Street.
What's the date on it?
It's Friday the 30th, December 1st, and December 2nd.
So it's 11. And whatever you...
2, not 3, 2. 12, 2.
12 to 2.
Yeah.
So presumably you would write something interesting.
Presumably.
The upcoming...
For their 26th, is it 26th?
Yeah, it's 26th.
26th annual Open Studios. Over 75 artists participating. I'm making this up, but it's something like that.
And should have one Cottage Street, Easthampton. They're the ones that are doing this, right?
We're not posting this anyway, right?
Well, we could post it, then I guess delete it, just so it...
If you could bring up their site, then we can actually post real information.
Oh, yeah,
If you don't
okay. Sure.
What is their site?
Well,
That was
CottageStreetStudios.com, something like that.
Okay. Open Studio, here it is. So maybe we want to just post this whole little,
Yep, you could.
this whole action here. So what I would do is take a look at it. First, I just want to see where this is stored. If we could just use this as a link.
If you wanted to, could you paste the URL in?
That's what-
And have it be a link?
That's what I was going to see if I could do that. That might be a little easier. The problem with that is if something happens and this image is no longer, it's not the best practice to do this, because
Then the link goes
if
dead.
if the image gets moved at all, which is likely to happen, if they change the page, then that link is dead.
Oh, okay.
But just for sake of right now, let's see, if I want to put in an image from the link, I go to image URL. There's a lot of best practices as far as writing an article and making sure you describe everything in title, and you don't, we can look at, people can do that, but for now, let's see. See, it's saying, do you want to continue? It's not good to do that. You want to put a description. But since we're not going to leave this here, I'm just going to do it. Well, we could maybe
I thought the idea was for creating content, so
create content. Okay.
let's create some content.
Okay. Easthampton, Mass. Check out, there's some different options, what the size to be. Let's just see what we got, what it looks like here. So for now,
So it removed.
no,
Okay, you put it in
I put it in above it, but I'm gonna move that over here. But we don't really need all this now, that it says that you have a nice page.
Is the address, just out of curiosity, on that particular flyer, is the address, what you inserted, it doesn't say anything on One Cottage Street, does it?
No, but it looks like they must have it somewhere on there.
Well, it's on their website, so.
One Cottage Street.
But that's not what's on.
So maybe
We
we
can-
just add that above it in the text. Please come to 26th annual this weekend, One Cottage Street, Easthampton, Mass.
Is that a link, that image?
I can make it a link.
Because they could just go right to this.
One Cottage Street, Easthampton, Mass. If you want to make this into a link to their page, we can do that. Just copy this. And then we can save the draft and just preview it. There's another nice thing to do, which is to create a featured image so that when the post eventually shows up on our page, it has an image associated with it. So maybe there's something off their page that we could kind of grab. Or we could just use our Local Works logo as a featured image, I don't know.
Small point of order. Not all posts have to be this involved, right? They can be very simple.
Yeah, it could just be
little
text. Yeah, it could just be a text. I don't know, I guess we got kind of on a sidetrack
Yeah,
here.
so with Ben's suggestion that we also should put something up before next week, we don't have to be intimidated, thinking that we can do all of this.
Can you grab the logo right behind cottage?
Well,
Is that separate?
the C is, it's part of the, it's,
It would just be so small then, right?
it would be small, yeah. Well, in any event, let's just use our Local Works image for the featured, or we could use this, see what it looks like with the, that big image.
The banner,
Yeah.
the Cottage Street banner.
Yeah. So these are the images that are already in our,
How much storage space do we have online if people started to put lots of images? Are we okay? We don't have to worry
we're
about it?
fine. I think we're fine. I think it's unlimited, actually.
Okay.
We can check that. We can put this as a link and see what that gives us. Okay. And let's just see. we at now? So that's what the post kind of looks like now.
Okay.
As far as if we publish it, what will it look like on our page?
So you basically, once it's saved, you have to hit publish.
Right now it's a draft. If you were to go over to, you can read about the content management system WordPress that we're using and get, it's a little bit of a learning curve. It's very user-friendly, but, to get it, understand it, might, just poke around in it or find a tutorial. I find it pretty easy to use.
But we don't have to worry about it being live until we hit publish.
Publish, right. Right now it's in a draft area under all posts. You can see it here at the top. You see how it says it's a draft. There's some search engine optimization things that we haven't configured yet. I don't know if I want to get into that right now, but
No.
there's some tools that are built in that I put in here as plugins that help to optimize your content so it'll be more search engine friendly. But let's just publish this and see what it looks like from the main page. So we're back at our
I'm on the site, so tell me when I can refresh.
Go ahead and check it out. Still saving, so it might take a second here.
Yeah, I see it.
You see it?
It says no thumbnail though.
No thumbnail, so we gotta fix that.
But yeah, click on it and it brings up the article.
Right, so we need a thumb in there.
Oh, okay. All right.
That is,
Cool.
That's the featured image, right?
So if we don't have a featured image, it'll just say no thumb like that?
Right.
Can we make a default so it just...
If there is no thumb, it'll go to the local works.
Yeah, you don't want that showing up on this.
Without the default, we don't want that black.
Right. Can we make a default if there's not one there? It'll be our logo.
Probably, I'd have to check that out, but let's use, the problem was, this can be, to use the URL as a featured image, it looked like it didn't want me to do that. Let me try something. It'd be nice to have something that, other than our logo up there a million times.
True.
I'll save this.
You could do a screen grab of just like the words cottage and from the end of cottage to that logo.
That's true.
Just the end of cottage? Like this?
Yeah, something like that.
Something like that. Okay. So,
Apples, their sounds.
Yeah.
set the featured image. We want to use it as the featured image without inserting it into the post itself.
It's there.
It should.
Okay.
That's cool.
Yeah. Good.
Okay. Caught.
So,
I have other photographs that I put on the Facebook page of Easthampton that you could use. I
Sure.
don't know if we can grab some from
Yeah,
storage.
like this one here.
From here.
No, I know, but like if we uploaded a whole bunch of images of Easthampton that we
Yeah,
liked.
we can keep those in the media bin.
And then people could grab them and use
Right.
them.
Yeah.
it's a good idea.
Yeah.
That's what we did for this photo, was off the Facebook, I guess. So great, now we have a new
I know that.
article up there.
Would you mind sending people IDs?
No.
Yeah, Pat. He has a lot of images on Flickr.
Do you want
They're all like
stop the recording?
copyright.
Are we still in the
He has
regular
no-
meeting?
We're still in the meeting, yeah.
This is images.
He doesn't? Okay. Yeah, he puts,
Pet rock?
yeah, he puts a lot of like,
But we knew this one was going to be longer.
Right, but do we need to film
could we
it?
use
Well, we
them
should give him-
if we can get
I guess.
permission from him to use
Yeah.
them?
I mean, until we actually adjourn the
Credit
meeting.
or-
That's it.
Yeah, we should give him
we need
credit.
to.
Okay.
Well, okay, so,
Great.
so Ben is going to send us all IDs and passwords.
Matt.
Matt is going to send, sorry, Ben is going to receive his.
And are we going to, from the beginning, do we have ability to post without getting
Yeah. Filtered.
Yeah. Okay.
Put some glamour shots of yourself up there.
You never know. Okay.
But maybe we can think about what do we want this to say. Welcome to Local Works. It's not, website. We don't need to really say that. We could mention the survey. If we could have the survey done soon, we could get that live.
I think that we should have a goal of, is it feasible that Jessica could provide input in 2 weeks' time?
I'm not going to speak about her schedule.
That's why I said feasible. Well,
I mean,
is she swamped right now?
it should take 15 minutes to go through it, but I'll ask her and we'll sit down and
that's fine.
try to do it for the next time.
Because if we do have input from her by the next meeting, I would like it if we can make a decision then without making it into all sorts of more changes, unless her changes are substantial.
Right.
And this could go. I just did it too. Josh, that could go on.
Josh?
You know what I handed you, the white note, that down below.
Frank?
Oh, okay.
Well, they both 4 letters.
That's it.
For the longest time, I would type Ben's name with two N's, because your last name is Webb.
Do you want to
two
do that on
B's.
camera?
That's okay. Everyone knows I'm an idiot. That's fine. Yeah, so.
So we could put this here on the About page, you're saying?
It's just the structure of the committee.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that should go above or below the mission.
Above. I wrote.
The committee mission statement below it, yeah.
Yeah.
Now, is it called Local Works Easthampton or just Local Works?
Local
It's
Works.
actually the subcommittee of the, by local subcommittee of the EDIC.
Yes.
Do we still have the word "by" in there?
I think
That's the way it was set
that's
up?
the way it was set up, so I mean,
Okay.
we haven't been.
We don't have to say that on our website, though, do we?
No, because
No.
we're,
Collaborate, this is what Denise said to put up.
Yep.
Collaboration of the following organizations with the goal of seeing our local economy grow.
Yeah. So now, in that, is it okay to have the chamber? We're doing,
He's still here.
we're doing everything we can. You're still here.
Just put Eric's name instead of the chamber.
they said to take the logo off. They did not say anything about,
Well, I said we weren't, yeah.
I mean, they didn't vote you, they didn't tell you to stop working with the committee.
No, that's true.
They're still partners, they just didn't want the chamber logo on that kind of empty website.
Could we have our friend Pat Bruff take a look at this? And if he feels like coming to our next meeting, we'd love to have him.
When would the next chamber meeting be that they could vote to have a presence on our website again?
I'm looking at the calendar in my head. 12th?
And would it be inappropriate to have one of us there to make a pitch?
I could ask Pat.
Okay.
Matt, does this do spelling check as you type? Or is that a browser?
I think so.
I think it does. Yeah.
Okay, so we got a little more description on there now.
While he's doing that, I may suggest that since Kathy's not here, we postpone the Channel 5 discussion. It's-
I don't know anything about it.
Now, how about the Cultural District Subcommittee? Could they have a presence on here? Could be a partner with Local Works? But we're already a partner with.
Yeah. I don't see why not. I don't see why not.
Well,
We're meeting Thursday at noon time.
I mean, it's, the subcommittee is a subcommittee of the ECA Plus.
Oh,
So the ECA Plus is already going to have Right,
EDIC is a
I don't think
subcommittee?
so.
No.
The cultural district.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
I'm not sure how that's going to be set up. I'm not sure if that's accurate or not.
Oh, really?
Being a subcommittee of Easthampton City Arts. I think it's going to be its own entity.
Okay, cool.
Oh,
I'm not able to make that meeting.
Bummer.
Yeah, unless it goes for a while.
Thursday at noon, right?
Correct, yep.
I have a 12:30 meeting, and if it's done, sometimes there are 15, 20-minute meetings, so I can come down.
Well, it's only till 1 supposedly, so
Oh, okay.
I'm not sure if that'll be working.
if you click on the link, the Local Works logo on the top, does that take you to the homepage?
This logo?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
One thing about these articles, when you're publishing, it's not good to post in an uncategorized category because that doesn't add any value and it doesn't add any weight to the search engine. So it'd be good to either create a new category and to tag everything that you do as a post with something relevant. Like we could tag this with Cottage Street. Studio. Category.
Easthampton, so stuff like that, is
Arts.
that what you're talking about?
Yeah, like what's a category? Arts?
Art.
Well, Easthampton, Mass itself.
Easthampton. Arts could be a category, maybe?
Arts could be a category separate from Easthampton.
Arts.
So, I mean, multiple tags?
Can have multiple I think you can, the idea is to have multiple tags, but to have it be in one or two categories. Tag it with as many different.
So the tag would be Easthampton and art in studios or something like that.
Easthampton. Art. Open studios. Oh, we already said
Oh,
open
sure,
studios.
So art.
Art. That's good. How about arts for category? Would that be?
Arts is a good one, yeah.
Yeah.
Where did it go?
Okay.
So that will,
Can they, on the very top of the homepage, behind the logo?
on the, this?
Yeah.
Homepage?
The white area that goes from side to side, can that be filled
Yeah,
in?
this whole thing could, and this is really skeletal. It could be changed, it could be
I just thought it would be nice if we had an actual photograph of that same view.
Oh, that's a nice idea.
of this view kind of be.
Stretching across.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
I took a bunch of photos to get that to work, so I can
It would
send you
be,
some.
it would be fast if you wanted that for Ben, for you to just kind of create that as one graphic and then give it to me and I'll substitute that in. Because this is just this little square, you can
Yep.
see that, that's the main logo.
Yep.
If you want something more composite rather than me trying to layer it or match it up,
Yeah,
just
yeah.
make the
To
banner,
make one, yeah.
make
okay.
that with the mountain and then we could throw that up there.
Cool.
What's the,
And if you're swamped, we could take one of Jim Ingram's
Yeah, Jim
Photos.
Simpson's ones too.
and do it too.
okay,
We could change it seasonally.
That's true.
yeah. What's the dimensions on that banner?
I don't think it matters. This is, it just,
Make it the size of
oh, you made it a certain size. You could just pull this off and use this as the,
as a template.
But, I mean, what's the width? Does it scale per screen, or is
We
it?
scaled it to a certain size. I forget what that was. Josh made it smaller than your original one.
No, I meant, it's the
It's about,
the
it's about 6
website
width.
itself, is that,
This website, one of the things that's kind of nice about this template is it resizes the whole page to fit on, like, if you were on a mobile screen, it does that, which is kind of nice if you're on your
so then my
iPad.
question, if I have this long banner, what happens?
It will, see how it does that with our logo? When you get, the screen gets smaller,
It shrinks it.
it centers it.
Centers it, okay.
So if
If
you're
if that whole thing with that, that's going to shrink.
Well, so make it like...
it won't shrink it, it'll just, it'll kind of center it, and since it's wider, it'll stop at a certain point, and
But
then
watch what, it's shrinking the Open Studios link too.
it doesn't shrink
Yeah, it
the
does.
logo.
No, but look, the Open Studios,
Open Studio shrinks,
Yeah,
but the
yeah,
logo
we're just
stays
talking
the
about
same
top right
size.
now.
You're talking about this?
Yeah.
This.
I would suggest
This stays the same size.
taking the width of the logo now and making a picture that's 4 times that, right next to it. And that way, and that way Matt can center it or make it look appropriate.
All right, I'll try to do that and send you some.
And that way, if you're making it too big, then you're right, it is going to get messed up when people look at it on their mobile devices. But, I think that size would be fine.
So there's our tags down here. The bottom. Yeah.
So those always show up?
Those will show up in association with this, and then the more categories we can have, this is a little category menu area that can be over here. It doesn't have to be.
So if you were to then click on arts, you would see all the art related.
All the art-related articles would come up, see like that blog archives.
Okay.
So this is the only one in that category right now.
Right.
Now, I also created a Local Works Twitter. Is Twitter blocked in the...
I've never tried it.
No. Local Works.
You know what? We don't necessarily have this on the tape, but when you send everyone their user ID, send the Twitter ID and the password so we can each contribute to that.
Right. We should try to, it's pretty minimal. I just followed 6 with the chamber and...
Everybody has their talents. I don't think Twitter is one of mine. Just
No.
saying that up front.
Yeah.
I'm not a clever kind of...
Well, I set up a Twitter account years ago when I was job hunting and haven't done anything.
It's your work.
But I'll start just doing
Yeah,
little things.
the Campbell soup thing doesn't work for it.
So,
All right.
I think this has been a good meeting.
Yep.
Does anyone else have any things they want to talk about with the website anymore?
So that is live?
Mhm.
And the other one is taken down?
No, what we're going to do is get hopefully Josh was going to get...
We'll have a redirect.
redirect, yeah.
A redirect for
The
the...
old domain name.
Yes,
There's some sizes, right? There's some.
we're going to
That's
get
just
that
my
from
monitor
James.
preference,
Oh,
yeah.
Redirect it to there. I totally blanked on what I was going to say. Oh, yeah. The cultural district. Is there stuff that we can talk about now, or should we wait till after Thursday's meeting?
I don't think there's much to talk about now.
Okay.
Everybody was at the forum except Ben, right? There was... No, I think...
Okay.
There's something. Did you vote?
The original deadline, we were going for December 1st or December 5th, something like that, but that has been extended to the
Okay.
beginning of the year, so after the beginning of the year.
Can we actually take a vote on this, whether or not we want to leave up that under construction?
Right, we don't want that, no.
Or we already
Oh, no,
decided?
No, I said we should get that off there.
I think so.
What do you want?
Because I think when it says under construction, people just like immediately
right.
stop looking.
Okay.
That's a good idea. So,
If we're all planning to like start adding content to it, get our logins and start working on it, then it really isn't. Yeah, it's not really under construction. It's complete. It's just
Right.
the
Right.
content's coming as we go. People
Right.
will click on partners or whatever, and there won't be any
Okay.
partners, but all the more reason to keep coming back.
Right.
Nice.
This adapter's a little hosed.
Yeah.
For the that homepage, what would you want to say?
just take that off.
Easthampton. I would just say subheadline is. Can we look at the
What it looks like now?
yeah.
It's like my Kool-Aid.
Yeah. Website. And just get rid of
Just take it off.
the website is under
Yeah,
construction.
just take that sentence off.
And then it's coming soon
Do you want to leave that coming So,
Take the local survey or no?
And right now it just links to a page that's blank.
well, it's not
How
blank.
about, no, that doesn't work. So that's about the committee for you. I was going to say collaboration of local organizations with the goal of
Yeah,
making our local economy grow.
yeah, I think that's good.
Okay, what was that?
But it's not local organizations, a collaboration of, this says local organizations, but it's not.
It should be something
It
like.
is something more inclusive.
The city, or you want multiple things?
The
Yeah,
collaboration
because this would
of
include everybody. I mean, if everybody's,
organizations, businesses,
we're just trying to make it shorter.
residents.
though. We're trying to make it shorter.
How about just a collaboration?
A collaboration with the goal. Does that sound all right? A
With-
collaboration with the goal of making our local economy grow. A
A collaboration of people, or
No, just a
collaboration
collaboration.
of ideas, a collaboration of,
I don't think you need to identify what it's a collaboration of.
Making
Because it's
our
some
what?
people, it's some
Making our-
groups.
It's a
Community.
collaboration with the goal of making our
Making your what?
a collaboration with the goal of making our local economy grow.
Collaboration with the
Yep.
goal.
Of making our local economy.
Grow.
economy, community.
Economy. Community, we're not going to say we want to grow the size of the number of people that live
Yeah,
there.
but it's,
Okay. So,
collaboration.
A collaborative effort.
Yeah, a collaborative effort to make our local economy grow.
Yes.
Collaborative effort, that's good. With the goal of
Strike
making our,
that.
what is it? Collaborative
A
effort?
collaborative effort.
with the goal of making our local economy grow. Yeah, you're good, Denise.
Should there be a comma after that or
Well
no?
done,
No.
yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah,
Somebody goes to the survey now, it says estimate, I should change that, I just put that there thinking optimistically, we're probably not gonna get this done by December 15th. But,
Can you take off just the, you have a coming soon there, can you just take off the thing that says take the local survey? Just so it won't even go to that. Did you have look out for, or something, I forgot what I said, I'm sorry.
right,
Pardon me.
I don't think it's a bad thing to advertise that we're going to do it.
Yeah, no, I think we should keep
No, I
that.
was thinking about the actual,
The
the
date.
box,
the
the
box that takes the local work survey, so because of them.
Okay. How about if it just said, read more about it? And leave what
Oh,
you've already,
Yeah.
leave what you've already, you know,
Mhm.
Yeah, and then we'll change it once it
Right.
starts, and we'll say, take it.
okay.
Okay.
Read more about, read about local work survey?
Read about the local, what do we call it, local works East Hampton, the preference survey, or local works.
Survey.
Okay.
I do have one more thing, unrelated but related. East Hampton City Arts annual Light Up the Arts Party is December 6th. That's not this Saturday, but the Saturday afterwards. And that's our party to say thank you to all of our sponsors and volunteers. And it's a really fun party. So,
December 6th is the
That's a
Thursday.
Thursday.
yes.
I
Did I
thought
say
you said
Saturday?
you said
I did say Saturday, I'm
yeah.
sorry. It's
Thursday.
I'm on a board of another organization that has something going on. My thoughts on it.
Your next meeting?
Leave the Christmas carols.
I'll probably be there though.
Good,
Yeah.
good.
The next meeting is going to be December 11th, I believe. I'm going to be in California. So can someone,
That's a little tricky, but I can make it, but
I can take notes if that's what you're asking.
if someone can, yeah, please. Well, here's the thing then.
And then the following meeting will be the 25th, which I assume will cancel.
I can come.
I can come too, but
I can, but I'm not going to.
Actually, no, I can't. I won't be in town.
Well, okay, here's a suggestion then. What if we, since we're only going to have one meeting that month, what if we say just this one time that we make it the following week? So it's in the middle of the month. That gives Jessica a little bit more time.
EDIC is going to be
Here on the 13th.
on the 18th.
Can we meet somewhere else?
18th.
Well,
Take the big.
I mean,
I'm supposed to be on.
I'll
you're
have to
there.
be there for the EDIC. Okay. Okay, well then.
was there a meeting last week?
No, it was canceled.
Okay.
You didn't miss anything.
Okay, so December 11th, Josh won't be here. He'll take notes. Thank you very much.
And then we'll skip the following meeting and we'll go
Okay, so
to
here's the thing though.
And then the
Someone's
second,
gotta-
and then the second, will, I guess the 9th.
Yeah. So someone's got to play heavy at that meeting to make sure we don't get all sidetracked on the survey.
What do you mean?
Well, so make a decision, so we get going.
Well, can we decide to,
That's if Jessica has.
we need to
the minutes.
determine
Correct.
for sure whether or not the Survey Monkey is the way to go. If we can determine that before then, could we decide to try to move ahead with at least
Yeah.
getting the Survey Monkey set up?
Well, I tell you what, I will have information for you to talk about by then.
I assume that we will use SurveyMonkey just because it seems like it's a fairly cheap option. It seems fairly easy to use based on your analysis, unless Josh comes up with something that's more.
It's going to have to be really amazing because of the film. You have familiar with SurveyMonkey already?
Just cursory, I mean,
Oh, well, okay.
I'm familiar with it to the extent that I'm aware of it. I've seen it, and, I've talked to people who've used it.
I mean, it's
I've
pretty
taken
I've done
it.
that too. The only possible one is that one that's geared for the nonprofits.
The nice thing about it is it's easily to embed, which they have that functionality that lets you embed the survey into your page, which we have. Presumably these other ones might have that too.
Okay.
If it's free and it can do the same thing, then we should.
I'll get all the information for you, so that you can present it to the group next meeting. Okay. Are we adjourned?
I move to adjourn.
I second.
Somebody say all in favor.
Sayonara.
All in favor?
Aye.
And we say, that's it, it's a wrap.